Caleb, can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Thank you, everyone. We're now joined by Caleb. For our first question, we'll go to Brett Hilpern of Valley Sports. Go ahead, Brett.
This one feels a little maybe kind of awkward to evaluate the immediacy after. What were your thoughts on the overall picture of that game and how you saw it play out?
Well, this is very simple. We just lost 2 games in a row. And obviously the teams we've lost to are very good teams. So losing 1-0 to Nashville and losing on the road 1-0 to Philly, there's no shame in that. But we're a good enough group and we played well enough in both of those games, minus the mistake, obviously today for the goal and then the finishing. And so myself, the players, we're extremely pissed off. We're extremely pissed off because it's another game where I think it was 19-10 in shots. We had 70% possession. And this is a good team. And we're on the road. And we feel like we should have won every game this year. But we didn't. And that aspect of it is extremely frustrating for a competitive club and a competitive locker room and a competitive group of coaches like we have. And now moving forward, what are we going to do about it? I think we need to play a little bit more angry. You know, that hunger around the goal for me is what we're lacking. You know, we need more edge. We need more killer instinct, you know, with our front three. It's that simple. And that was the message to the group. That was understood and agreed upon. And bottom line, we could say we just lost 1-0 to 2 very good teams and we dominated both games. We're fine. But at the end of the day, we want to win games. We've lost 2 in a row. So I don't care if we lost to Nashville and dominated. I don't care if we've lost to Philly and dominated. We need a bit more in around the goal, especially. Obviously, the Aloy mistake, we know it was a big mistake. That made life, again, a lot more difficult. There's nothing anybody could have done about that other than Aloy. He feels bad about it, obviously. He put his hand up after the game. You know, I thought the rest of the game, he buckled down and did everything he could to try to make up for it. I thought our defenders did everything they could to put out fires. It's a difficult game on the road. You play 89 minutes down a goal, and you know you're going to have to deal with transitions. Second half, obviously, we're gambling. We gave away a few transitions. But for me, forget the goal we gave up. Last 2 games, we have to be better in around the goal. The chances with the positions that we got in, I think it's all hunger. You know, that little bit of extra urgency, more decisiveness. And I think in both games, very similar. When you're down a goal, they're going to sit in, they're going to be narrow, and most of our attacking actions are going to happen wide. And we're not getting enough in those wide positions on the edges. You know, we need a little bit more out of Derek, a little bit more out of Yao. And we'll continue to work with them. We'll continue to push them. Those are guys that I love. But, you know, in 2 games, I felt like we needed a little bit more out of especially those 2 guys and the other guys we subbed in as well. And then I think when we do get crosses, you know, the weak side wingers not getting in the box, for me, the 9 as well, that extra hunger to get on the end of the cross. We've got some really good guys that want to win, that work hard, that give everything they have, but we need to be nastier. We need to be nastier around the goal. We need to come out of games bloodied trying to score goals, putting our face on the line, putting our balls on the line. It's a little bit a feeling of we're right there and why aren't we scoring? It's hunger. It's hunger and it's edge. And we have some guys that are nice guys, but they need to be a little bit nastier. And they know that, and I told them that. And yet, honestly, I don't think the team could have given more. They gave everything they have, but it's that little bit of put your body on the line more. The effort, the energy's there. The effort and energy, you cannot fault this team for their effort and energy over the last 2 games. And yet, if we want to be the team we want to be, I don't care who we're playing, because I'm talking about teams we need to beat, Nashville and Philly, if we want to be at the top. Okay, so that'd be an easy excuse. We're playing good teams. It's just 1-0. We're dominating the game. At the end of the day, the bottom line is we fell short, and we're falling short in our in being more goal dangerous and effective in scoring goals.
You, Caleb. Next, we'll go to Jacob Myers.
Caleb, it sounds like any kind of frustration is more so not necessarily the performance, because you like a lot of what you saw last game and this game. As you said, they look familiar, very similar, but more so just maybe getting the guys to a state now where they can't kind of rest on this and say, okay, we're going to continue to get better from here. It's more so you're kind of demanding it right now. Is that accurate?
Yeah, again, we have high standards, right? And you know, some years maybe we're finding moral victories, you know, in the last 2 games because of how well we played. And I think if you're looking at the bottom line, the last 2 games, we played very well. And the guys gave a lot. Very proud of that. I appreciate everything they gave. I cannot fault the effort. But to win an MLS Cup, to be fighting for the top of the East, we have to be around goal more ruthless. And I like a lot in Miguel Berry. I like a lot in Derek Etienne and Yao Yeboah and Giassi Zardes. These guys are great guys. They give everything they have. They have to be nastier. And I want to see them putting their bodies on the line a little bit more to score goals. Because when we're getting crosses and we got a lot of numbers in the box because we're down a goal, it's going to come through the 9 and the weak side winger and the 10. Lucas has an edge every game to create, to score goals. He's never happy if he doesn't score a goal. He's never happy if our front guys don't score a goal. But I think we need some of the other guys to have that same standard and that same edge and that same chip on their shoulder to do whatever it takes, because it isn't good enough to, in fact, you'd say it's worse when we have 70% possession. It's worse that you don't score a goal having 70% possession and 19 shots. We've had over, 35 shots in the last 2 games, but I think only 8 on target, you know? And so, you know, when I say some of the quality needs to be better, it's not because we don't have talent. It's just, for me, it's that mentality in that moment to, you know, get the cross on the money, to get the shot on frame, to drive at the guy in the box and put him on the back foot, to eliminate him, you know? And you look today, we whiffed on a shot that's an easy goal. We had others that if we get across the central defender, even if we commit fouls, you know, but I just think that if we want to be the team we want to be, okay, which is win MLS Cup, we have to have more edge in around the goal. We have to, because yes, we're playing well, and yes, we are dominating very good teams, but we're going to continue to be losing games and not scoring goals if we don't have more of a chip on our shoulder to score goals.
Is there anything in training during the week you and the staff can do to do that? Or is it kind of, I guess, kind of both, you know, up to you and the players?
We do that all week. You know, I don't think there's a team in MLS that gets their guys around the goal and works opposed and unopposed and puts them in situations and gives them ideas. I don't think you're going to find a team in MLS that works on that more. For me, it's the mentality. It's what's between the ears. And I think a Derek Etienne, he does have to play a little tougher. Yao Yeboah, he's figuring the league out. There are times where it looks like he's, you know, a little bit tentative, you know, and stalls on the ball versus just going and driving at the guy and eliminating him. Don't overthink it, you know. Miguel's a great kid. He's got quality. But, you know, he's got a pretty face. You know, he needs a few more scars. You know, most of the top strikers in our league, they've got tattoos on their necks, and, you know, they're killers, you know, and I think that's something he's going to need to learn. And I think he can, because I thought he did a lot of good things today. But I've never seen a nice striker. You look at Joseph Martinez, you look at Raul Diaz, you look at the strikers, they're pricks, and they have an edge, and they will break your face to score a goal. And if they don't score, they're pissed off. And I think when I'm looking at some of our guys, I'm not sure they're killers like those guys. And that's the reality. So I need to bring that out of them. It's mentality. I don't think it's training and putting them in situations. It's about improving their toughness. Now, are they ever going to be as tough as some of those guys? Probably not. But it's my job to try to make them tougher. And I think they're good enough and tough enough to be scoring more goals than they are. But I think having a little edge, they need to have an edge. They need to suffer a little bit after this game, you know. And I think Lucas suffers when he doesn't score. You know, Jonah suffers when he gives up a goal. Jonah was outstanding today. I thought Milos was out. Both those two guys, and that's what's disappointing. Aloy, I told these guys at halftime, just keep us in the game. We're going to find a goal. And we didn't, you know, and so that accountability has to be there if we want to be the team we want to be. But there's so many positives. You want me to sit here and tell you all the positives? I will. But my standards are high with this group. Okay? So I'm going to focus on what needs to improve.
Well, and you kind of touched on this at the beginning, just with Nashville, Philly, these are teams looked at consistently as contenders, teams you guys want to be matched up with. Is it, I guess, good to know early this season that that's only kind of the margin now, is just in those moments you need guys to find that goal?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, no one's negative, okay? But we want to be champions. We're competitors. And I've never seen a championship team that's nice. We need to have some training sessions where guys are getting bloodied a little bit and we're battling a little bit more. And I think that will potentially help us in moments. The accountability needs to be there. But I'm very pleased with the effort they gave. This group gave everything today. They gave everything. And their attitude and their energy. And they're disappointed. Okay. But the attackers need to be a little more disappointed, because they got to find goals for us. Otherwise, we're going to be falling short here, and I'm going to be losing my job. That's the way I look at it, okay? Because I want to win, and I'm a competitor. I hate losing.
Thank you, Caleb. Just going to wrap up our segment with head coach Caleb Porter.
Appreciate it, Caleb. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.